This warm weather, temperatures 5 to 10 degrees above normal around California. Forecast high for the Bay Area in mid-70s to the mid-80s.
October 17th, 1989 started out like any other day in Northern California. By mid-afternoon, it was hot and hazy, the kind of balmy day the old-timers call earthquake weather. But even if it was unseasonably warm, no one was thinking about the weather.
Let's do it! Let's do it!
All we were talking about was baseball. We were a divided community that Tuesday afternoon, taking sides for our Battle of the Bay, the first World Series ever played between the San Francisco Giants and the Oakland A's.
There were a few tickets available for the game earlier this morning, 21 to be exact.
The biggest news story that afternoon was how to get your hands on some tickets for that night's Game 3. By 5 o'clock, if you weren't at Candlestick, you were watching it on television. By 5:02, over 30 million people tuned in. At 5:03, we were watching highlights from Game 2, about to see the replay of Dave Parker's run-scoring double off the right field wall at the Coliseum. At 5:04, the World Series was the furthest thing from our mind.
Dave Parker at second base, so the Oakland A's take.
Hey, what? We're having an earthquake.
Oh my God, we're having an earthquake. Wait a minute. Hold on. Can you feel that? There go the lights. Oh, shit.
The radio out here, he said, oh my God, he says one of the bridges, they didn't say which one, collapsed.
Gosh!
Serious damage on the Bay Bridge. Part of the upper deck east side collapsing on the deck below.
I've never seen anything like this in all my life. We actually could see, I could look through the rearview mirror and see the bridge giving about a quarter of a mile behind me.
Heading south onto the Nimitz. That is completely collapsed. That's the upper section collapsing into the lower section of the Cypress.
We need something to pry the door open. And need something to pry the door open. Okay. Prove up. We need something to pry the door open. Come here, Holly. I need to get out of here.
No, he's alive. He's trapped in there.
No, you're in your truck.
And he heard me and then he parked outside.
Your truck is upside down.
Man, they say it's all the way around, this freeway is all the way around 70 torn down.
Freeway was rolling and humping and jumping, and the cars were falling down, and
the dust was flying everywhere.
Dust was going all over. Rocks were flying. People.
The cars were like ping pong balls. They were bouncing, you know. And then I knew it was going to collapse. And it just was
chaos. It's terrible. It's terrible. There's a lot of people under there that's pent. Most of them, we got most of them out, but there's quite a few that's it's just no help.
It's a building approximately 4 stories high. Brick building is a type 3 that collapsed because of the earthquake. There are right now maybe 5 cars that are covered with debris. Very possible, you know, that there are victims under here because of the time. This is the time that people, when it hit, people get off work.
6 and Townsend where bricks from a structure fell onto 3 cars with 5 people inside. None of the 5 people survived.
Car over here. That's fine. Somehow we're missing one.
And we got the one you pulled out in Salon over there. That's fine.
That's fine.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's correct.
This is I-Megnan in downtown San Francisco in the Union Square area. It was the only downtown building.
It looks like we have 5 patients that we're going to end up transporting. 5 patients, and we should be able to handle all of them.
Okay,
Do you have the destination?
fire burning in San Francisco's Marina District. It started at the northeast corner of Beach and Divisadero Streets. A building there collapsed and burst into flames as another building across the way from it on the northeast corner of Beach and Divisadero also collapsed. That was a 3-story building. It collapsed into about 3/4 of a story.
And we saw this go, and it just quietly collapsed. It was so bizarre. It was just like a quiet crunch. It just crunched down.
There's a gas leak. Let's go. Turn around and go that way. Gas leaks. Get away from the marina.
Not yet. So please keep this area clear. This is only for injured people.
There are about 400 to 500 people at the shelter, at least 400 to 500 people when I left the shelter a little while ago, all from the Marina District.
Blankets. We need food, we need water. We don't have any toilet facilities. Our lines are down. We don't have a thing. You just tell them we don't have a dang thing. Yeah, just tell them we're bare bones.
There aren't any lights on in the Marina District. In fact, there aren't any lights on anywhere in the city. To drive back, we had to go through stoplights which aren't working. In some cases, people are out there directing traffic.
It's just the way we feel about the city. It's ours.
It is darkness. In fact, so dark that we have a couple of police helicopters that are working the neighborhoods of West Oakland, apparently concerned about looting.
Party's over. See you later. Bye.
If there's anyone arrested tonight for burglary or looting, tomorrow morning we're going to go into court and demand that there be no bail. Anyone engaged in that kind of conduct can expect maximum sentences.
Which was, at that time, 53 dead, as many as 400 injured. A little bit after that, we heard the Office of Emergency Services shoot that figure up to 100 and possibly as many as 250.
They have apparently found a victim alive in that cypress structure, and how they're going to get to that.
He was trapped underneath the car. It's a big-size pickup truck, and the truck was about down to about 2.5 feet, 3 feet. He's doing a lot of screaming and just begging us to get him out. We tried everything.
Santa Cruz is virtually blacked out tonight. It was the epicenter of the earthquake, adding the possibility of 6 dead here in the Santa Cruz area as the number could go up to 14.
Things were just falling and just crashing down. And it's like I ran out in the middle of the street so nothing would hit me. And it was just horrible. People were just running, not knowing what to do.
Until daybreak comes, we won't know how many more injured and dead we actually find.
I think probably everybody is going to have to wait until they have daylight here before they can start to try to find whether there are people.
Santa Cruz's downtown. It was devastated by the earthquake. Brick walls, old brick historic walls crumbling.
So we're finding out now just how bad the damage is in the South Bay not too long ago.
294, what are you reporting? 3rd and San Fernando, walls fell down in the building. Look, we got a bad one here. We got a tree down, with a man trapped under it. He's cut badly. Glass fell down and cut a man.
We ran out the door. Fell out the door, really. We both fell to the ground, couldn't walk. Our Honda Prelude was bouncing across the driveway coming at us. We turned around and looked. We were screaming for our son because he was upstairs in the 2nd story asleep. We looked at the house. It jumped straight up off the foundation about 6 inches. We could see under the house. It just went over the hill and just slowly sank down like it was in quicksand. just disintegrated. And our son was in there. We hollered and screamed, and from way down there in the distance, you hear him say, "I'm okay." And he said it twice, and he come walking up through the middle of the stuff. And he was out. He just kind of bloody and scratched up, but,
unbelievable.
You know, right at that point in time, we didn't even think about the house. We didn't think about anything. All we thought about was our son was alive. Because when we laid there, we both knew he was dead the way the house collapsed together. That's the good old house payment. Right after the earthquake. I guess they still want their money.
1, 2, 1, 3.
Friends chanted her name all night long as they camped out by the rubble of what was once the coffee bar where Robin Ortiz worked. It was as if they were...
They said that they'd be back here at 7. It was 21 minutes after 7, and they're still twiddling their thumbs and walking around like it's a party.
Well, what do you mean? What are they supposed to be doing?
They're supposed to be in there digging, trying to get Robin out.
She's still trapped?
She's still in there. They haven't got her out.
We should have had the rescue continue throughout the night. If they won't continue, then we at least want to keep her alive if she's possibly alive.
3. Robin! 1, 2, 1, 3. Robin!
Out here this morning, and at least 300 to 400 people are going to be homeless because some 20 to 30 buildings are uninhabitable.
There is an estimated 60 buildings at this time that will have to be demolished.
We have been told that search dogs have now gone into that building. There is one person still unaccounted for in this particular area. They think this person may be in this building. They're hoping it's a survivor.
One another. And an estimated cost of the damage of this earthquake and all related incidences is $2 billion to San Francisco.
We've been waiting for the Vice President and his wife to be here all morning to take a look at the scene here.
Just walking through here and seeing the loss of property, knowing of the loss of life, it hits you right here in the heart, and that's the reason I'm here. The President will be coming out here later on this week. We are dedicated to helping the people of the Bay Area in this unfortunate tragedy that has occurred.
Are these tourists or stuff?
It appears to be about 90% people that do not live here. Bicyclists, tourists. It has kind of almost a holiday atmosphere. The only thing missing is somebody selling popcorn and balloons. So we are in the process of moving those people out of the area.
If you are not a resident of the area, if you do not have identification, you're a resident of the area, then leave.
Move back there. Back there. Back there. Let's move back there. Going to the marina. The city has been stupendous in responding to this crisis. The one area we need more cooperation in is in sightseeing and going through the marina. It is causing a serious problem for us.
Caltrans, we got the news people to go up on the bridge.
Left here, 25 miles per hour.
Okay.
Around the Bay Area, the biggest problem by far, the shutdown of the Bay Bridge because the collapse of the cantilevered section, one section of that. That
kind of puts it in perspective, doesn't it, to see exactly how large a section of freeway has dropped when you see people standing there in that big gaping hole.
The Bay Bridge is, we estimate closure for about 20 days. We have a barge crane moving in right now that's going to attempt to pick up the fallen slab and put it into a barge on the water, looking at anywhere between $250,000 and $500,000 to repair that.
That's when we're really going to feel the crunch on our freeway systems, and we'll be missing this bridge desperately. I hope that they will be able to get it repaired sometime this week.
Mothers and fathers, husbands looking for lost relatives.
The freeway, they're going to cross this bridge, so I'm sure they are in there. I mean, if they are somewhere else, they're going to call me, let me know where they are, you know. But I'm sure they are still in there.
And our friend was behind us. We think he's still on this bridge because he was behind us.
I've called the various hospitals, and he's not there. So we came out here with the hope that we could join the rescue and look for him.
We also don't have a firm fix on the number of injured, but we think far more people were brought out of here as survivors than we first thought due to the heroic efforts of passers-by and civilians who joined the rescue efforts.
We had no tools to really get them out with. We went in and kind of pried a couple of doors open.
So you pulled how many people out?
21 altogether.
It was the most incredible thunderous roar. And it all crashed down on us, and then you were in this mess of groaning and screaming people and dust.
I'm happy I'm alive. I was pregnant, I lost my baby, but other than that, I'm just happy I'm alive.
I think they were, don't stop the digging, is what I thought they were saying.
Friends of Robin Ortiz crossed police lines and got arrested trying to convince the firefighters to go in and work all night long. Firefighters were saying it was very dangerous to work inside.
We have been trying to get information from the South Bay since the quake struck, and now
I was in the hallway and I said, let's get out of here. And my wife said, no, let's stay here. I said, no, let's go out, let's get out. And I was going to go out the front door. Then my wife had me change my mind. And if I'd have gone out the front door, I'd have been in a big hole. I might have got killed, really.
So I just got slammed up against the wall. And John got thrown into the piano. But we picked ourselves back up, only to be thrown again against the wall.
And it kept
in
reoccurring. We'd stop, and we'd get up and throw us down again. And all the furniture was flying through the air. You could hear, I thought the roof was falling in. That was my first thoughts.
And when we did get out, we just, like everybody else, we just stood and looked at it. To me, it was almost like looking at the Grand Canyon for the first time, because I didn't expect that in my front yard.
Aftershocks continue to rattle the South Bay, further weakening buildings and sending even more people into the shelters.
We were really surprised. We knew there were a lot of damaged homes in Watsonville, but this is really something. There's an awful lot of people, some of them with large families of children, who are living in fields.
They're staying right here until they can get a home. The last I heard from the fire department chief here in Watsonville was that they'll probably be here maybe 3 months.
I demand to go in and get my kid.
You're not going to go in there.
Find out why.
I already told you why.
Making it very frustrating. Everybody's angry, tempers are short. A 36-block area has been declared a disaster area. That means nobody is allowed to go in or out of this area, and it's making it very frustrating.
We had an inspector in yesterday who said our building was fine.
How'd you find out?
He came by and we followed him around and he looked at it. He said, yeah, this building looks sound. It would survive another earthquake.
He said it was a preliminary thing.
So you were at your...
We were at our building all day yesterday. In our apartment, we had everything. And we left to go to dinner over at a friend's house. When we came back, we couldn't get back in.
The people are so angry. Besides being displaced, scared, hungry, some of them, without sleep, it's not knowing who to talk to find out what is happening.
We don't need politicians right now keeping us here for 4 hours waiting. We don't have a home.
Well, look at that.
That's difficult, pal. That's very difficult.
What the hell is he doing that's so important?
Yeah.
Giving interviews with the government, looking for press opportunities? We've been out here for 3.5 hours. There's no excuse for this. This is the most troubled part of the city. Where the hell is the mayor?
Somebody, get somebody down here.
We will be hearing in a few minutes from the mayor himself to see exactly what the game plan is going to be.
First of all, let me tell you that we have been working night and day, every hour that we can, to try and deal with all of the needs that you have. I know how hard it is to be trying to figure out what it is that you need to know. At the Marina Middle School, what you will find out when you go there is the status of the building that you live in, that's in this area. It will have 3 status. 1, okay, that it's all right to go back to under certain circumstances. Second one is limited access, which means that you can go back in there to get things. And third status will be no access because it is dangerous to you.
Mayor, our tenants are asking if they can go through the rubble
And even along the sides, they can see their stuff.
I'll have to talk to the engineers and stuff.
It's all the way down.
On the sides?
On the sides. They won't even let us near the wood on the side, not to climb on it.
The problem is that there are buildings right next to it that have been affected that could come over while you're moving stuff. We tried to move a car late last night.
What I'm going to ask is if the one I read off, please come to the front, identify yourself as someone who is on the demolition list, the police officer. First address 3729 Divisadero, 2101 Beach Street, 3795.
There may be some news, but it may not be very good news here at the north end of the Pacific Garden Mall. Earlier, a human chain gang was set up to take debris out of one of the collapsed stores. Now that work has stopped, and there is some word from police that we are going to get some news very shortly about Robin Ortiz. They have talked with some of the members of her family, and the members of her family did not look happy. At this point, the Santa Cruz mayor showed up on the scene.
A third body has been recovered from the mall. The second body in the coffee roasting company. It is the body of 22-year-old Robin Ortiz. She did not suffer. You need to know that. She would have been killed instantly. A large beam fell.
Hey, come on, man. Come on. Shit.
They had optimistically hoped to reopen the Bay Bridge in about 3 weeks. I'm afraid that everybody agrees now that is probably way too optimistic. Nobody knows how long it's going to take. How long will this whole process take to get it secure?
No idea.
You want to bet on whether it'll all be done in 3 weeks?
No idea. The hardest part is trying to get it ready without hurting anyone. It's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous.
But it won't be 3 weeks. Commuters, hang on. You'll have to use alternate routes for a long, long time, I'm afraid.
The main question, of course, is why did this structure fail? Why did it fail to meet the earthquake standards set so many years back?
They're working in the fervent hope that there will be someone alive in there. We talked to one.
Bodies have been recovered. Another individual has been positively identified in the 32nd and Cypress area. The body cannot be removed due to the severe hazards that exist in that area of the structure.
Earlier in this day, an Acura Integra was uncovered in a mangled condition. That is the remains of that vehicle. Inside there was an occupant, a Caterpillar operator, almost with tears in his eyes, expressing his horror at having to dig this car out. It had been
and it looked like he was hit, knocked back. Only just his arms was whole, that's all.
You never seen anything like this?
Never before in my life. It was just surprising, you know. Looked like if he had had about 3 more seconds, he would have made it out.
They're now saying that they have 217 missing persons reports. 50 of those people have been accounted for. They either made it home or their bodies have been recovered. That leaves 167 missing people.
The Red Cross estimates that at least 10,000 people have been displaced. In Watsonville, the National Guard is setting up another large tent next to the armory because the shelter population has doubled just since last night.
It's a small town. They do again have hundreds, and some people say maybe more than 1,000 people who just have nowhere to go and are sleeping outside tonight.
Definitely a warm shelter is what the people really do need, and it will definitely prevent a lot of the illnesses.
Santa Cruz, Watsonville, Hollister, you folks should worry about Saturday night into Sunday, because while you may see some rain on Saturday, it'll be Saturday night where we see significant rain, and I mean significant.
Your house is in. You will be issued a pass. If it is safe, that we feel they can go in for 15 minutes, we will let them go in. They have to go in, don't get a lot of things, get out. To obtain these passes. Good morning.
See about getting a pass?
All right, that would be following this cordon that we set up here, and you'll be directed to the lines where that will be arranged, and you'll have an escort then to go to your property.
We're just going in to get some things.
I'm sorry.
sorry, unless you have someone else come out here. I'm sorry.
No, they told me I could
There
just
will be
go
another
get it.
no, ma'am. I'm sorry.
through, I'm sure. So
If you want to wait, the inspectors are coming back and forth. You can try to pick one up to go with you.
We are engineers coming in from every place we can get them to go out and escort with people to accomplish.
In the marina, little to find for folks back into their home, and they got it out any way they could. They knew many of these homes would be demolished. Those that were going to be, the owners were given 15 minutes to grab what they could. 50 homes now estimated are going to have to come down.
See something ironic? Fully equipped. Sat in the closet for 3 days. 2 earthquake kits? 2 earthquake kits. 2 weeks supply for 2 people. A lot of good it did me.
I tried not to think about the destruction I saw around me, but to grab whatever I could in the short amount of period that I had. And there were several kind people who helped to drag things out the door. And you work on adrenaline and what you see in front of you and what immediately comes to mind that you should grab.
These are the refugees of the marina, clutching possessions and memories in garbage bags, evacuating expensive homes.
The spirit of the folks, their willingness to help, it's absolutely great. Really an inspiration.
A lot of these people that I'm helping, I don't know their names, and I probably will never see them again. But it's important for me that I'm making a difference here, you know, no matter how big or small.
I think there'd probably be 1 million volunteers out working around the Bay Area if there's a way to put them all to use.
The Bay Area PG&E is telling us that approximately 1 million customers in the Bay Area were affected by a power outage shortly after that quake.
There were about 24 or so schools and children care centers in San Francisco that were closed simply because the fire department had not been able to check out those buildings.
They are advising people to take buses and to carpool and to stagger their work hours as much as possible. The bridge keeper...
We've used a number of different methods to determine whether we have any possibility of live victims. Sensing devices, the rescue dogs, the sonic devices, the infrared devices, and the optics. There's no chance.
They now say there is only a 1 in 1 million chance that any of the people are still alive inside. So they're very depressed and fighting the fatigue, but still.
Of course, their job's going to get even tougher now because it's also going to be rain to make things even worse.
Keep on going, there's no question. We're going to maintain our rescue operations 24 hours a day and keep on going until we drop. And we just hope that the rain is not in sufficient volume that it's going to adversely impact on the weight and the integrity of the structure itself. I mean, it's so weak right now, I don't want to push it. I don't even want to lean on it.
The president arrived less than 2 hours ago, and he stayed for less than an hour here. He took a look at the Cypress structure up close, and what the president saw clearly shocked him.
Human dimension is brought home much more clearly by coming here.
The president is now on his way to Santa Cruz. That is one of the towns hardest hit by the earthquake. He's scheduled to tour the center of the town, including that historic...
There's also some chilling news. People today are telling me that there are still people in the Santa Cruz Mountains living in areas that are so remote that they haven't been found yet. In fact, rescuers may not even know they're there. Four-wheel drive vehicles are now needed to
just wasn't there. I mean, there's just nothing. And I said to my wife, there's nothing here. We get up here and there it is, just scattered all down the hillside.
What was it like to be inside of it?
Oh, being on a roller coaster, not seeing what's going on.
What'd you do?
I just braced myself over here in this wall, held onto this piano.
Were you able to get out? I mean, you were able to get out okay?
Yeah, I walked up the stairs here and came out of there. Just jumped to this deck here.
About 2 weeks ago, I was going to get insurance for my house, earthquake insurance, and I laughed at it and threw it away because it was $111 a month.
How do you feel about it now?
I wish I did it.
You wake up and you think, this didn't really happen, until you go out and look at it again. This is a little precarious here. You just have to find a good foothold. This is the kitchen. Oh. Actually, this looks pretty good, believe it or not. We've been working on this for 2 days. I really didn't realize how badly buckled and how slanty everything was at that time. I mean, I knew there was a mess in here, but I didn't really realize how badly damaged everything was. This is a new addition that we put on the house here within the last 5 years. And it just separated. That's just down into the downstairs, you see there. This used to be my closet. It's real frightening. You know, it does make me cry, because some of the things, because I think of how hard we've worked to do some of this. And it was a nice house. And to do, you know, I walk in and I look at how hard I worked on the wallpaper in the kitchen and how hard it was to put up, and I think how
Could you sit down? No, I have a glass in there. Something.
There have been more than 3,000 aftershocks following Tuesday's quake. 80 of them have registered above.
My little ballerina broke that I got from my grandma. Everything fell. Everything. My water bed, they're so strong it broke. It's still on. The dining room, my hutch, everything broke. All my dishes broken. I'm scared to stay because, you know, something else happens. I'm scared. And, but I guess everything's fine already. I think we could stay here tonight.
Were damaged in the quake. Now the people are afraid to go back into any building, even a shelter. Encampments like this one have sprung up all over Watsonville. They seem largely populated by Hispanic families who are now struggling over limited supplies of food,
It's just a situation it's bad for all of us. We're not used to this. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if we're going to be able to go back home.
Tonight, people have prepared for yet more damage, shoring up their homes and preparing for heavy rains. People are taking
tonight with it dry, and I don't know that we will, but even if we do, it'll be raining when you wake up in the morning, and we'll have been for several hours, and then rain through about...
You can still just soup in there, and then we'll add the water out here.
Property damage of $1 billion. Now the rain on top of everything else. Here in
How are you guys doing in here?
Pretty good. It's okay. It's better than staying outside. We have a shelter. We had hot food for the kids, and I mean, it's warming here for them. They asked me last night to go to the fairgrounds, but I didn't want to.
Why not?
Because I was scared the building might collapse on us or something.
I think it's really starting to sink in, the reality of it. You know, like you say, to a certain extent, there was some adventure to it at first, and now the facts are sinking in. You know, it's raining and they don't have a place to go.
I feel funny. That's my property. They're wrecking. No one's asked me if they can do it, and I think that's a bit of a liberty. Frankly, they can just tear it apart. And the mayor, Agnos, said that
taking down a couple of buildings that we've gone through the process that I described from the very beginning that would assure people that they would have a chance to consent to any demolition.
I don't know if he's talked to anyone else. He hasn't talked to me. So I feel a bit funny about. You know, if I was living in the country and someone come wreck my house there, I'd probably shoot him. You know, here I don't know if I'd stand behind the yellow line and just watch it happen.
Caltrans worker was looking by a light early this morning and saw something move.
No, we have been in a rescue operation that started shortly after 6 o'clock this morning.
It was one of the most unstable parts of the whole structure that we've been in all weekend. And we stabilized that area. I made my way around to the other side of the vehicle, the driver's side, where the man was still alive, still in there, and I made contact. He could talk and he would respond to my questions.
Down there in the bag. The blue bag! Blue bag underneath. Yeah.
The door is open. Seat collar is on. Got that? The door is open, so they've got access to the guy.
There's put the seat collar in position right now. He's just going to go slow.
Okay, it's proceeding well. We're going to be, I'm not sure how much longer we're talking, but we've been in contact with the person in the car, and we have a license number. We're in the process of processing that now.
We do have an individual, a 57-year-old male by the name of Buck, B-U-C-K, first name, last name Helms, H-E-L-M-S.
Hank, what's the status at this time?
Last report I got from Jim is the fact that it's a fact. He's on the board. He's out of the vehicle. He's on the board. He's going to Stokes. He's being lashed.
Right there?
Yeah.
Thank you.
He said the fact that his car windows were up and had not been shattered may have hindered the search. They could not hear him, even the special audio equipment, if he was making any
He has
noise.
3 broken ribs, a concussion, a slight fracture of his skull. The main problems, though, is dehydration, and as a result of that...
Chief, just kind of keep everybody. Give me a 3-foot circle here.
Everybody back. Everybody back, gang. Thanks. I'm going to go visit you guys. Any comments? You want to make any comments?
Oh, it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It's the greatest rescue ever been involved in, man. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
They brought a man out alive. He waved his arms. We saw him wave his arms as he was being brought out, and even after he had been lowered to the ground. It was just an incredible and a wonderful sight to see this man come out after some 89 hours and to come out and be alive and to be able, as he was, to wave his arms. And
Tell me how was he pinned in there?
He wasn't. He was sitting down, his legs were free.
Wasn't pinned at all?
Took his steering wheel and lifted it right off his lap.
So was he talking at all?
He's moaning.
He was moaning.
His wife, Lorene, just arrived. She was airlifted from Weaverville, a small town near
And if it wasn't for all the help that we've had, we probably wouldn't be as strong as we are right now. But we've had people in Trinity County pulling for us, people here in Oakland pulling for us, and probably people all over the world pulling for us. And we just want to give you all our thanks.
So we've been riding this emotional roller coaster, all of us, since Tuesday's earthquake.
I think he indeed is a symbol of hope and also an indication that in a disaster like this, you never give up.
Buckhelm is at Highland Hospital in Oakland. The news there is quite good. He is responding to treatment. The odds are apparently in his favor. Lynn Joy-